My name is Ron Kirkwood. I'm the author of a book on the George Spangler Farm here in Gettysburg, and I'm standing at the monument of the 9th Massachusetts Battery on the battlefield. On July 2nd, 1863, late in the afternoon, the 9th Massachusetts and other batteries from the artillery reserve rushed out from their base on the Spangler Farm to here along the Wheatfield Road and next to the peach orchard because the 3rd Corps of General Dan Sickles was being overrun by 2 divisions of Confederate General James Longstreet's 1st Corps. It wasn't long after the 9th Massachusetts and those batteries out here were getting overrun themselves, and they had to retreat behind me 400 yards to the barn and the home of the Trostles. Now the 9th Massachusetts had so many horses shot and killed that they had to do that 400-yard retreat by prolong, meaning the men pulled the cannons. Each time a cannon fired, they pulled it after the cannon fell back 4 or 5 yards after each shot. So that's how they got from here back to that barn and to that house, and then later on they retreated even farther because they were being overrun and the Confederates were jumping on their cannons. It was just brutal fighting. I'm here with Bill Stillman today, psychic medium. He doesn't know anything about the Battle of Gettysburg, and he definitely doesn't know anything about this retreat. So we're going to walk this retreat, at least part of it, and I'm betting that Bill will pick up a lot of what happened here. And I also have a feeling that I'm going to get an education myself from what Bill discovers. So thanks. Let's go on this walk with Bill.
Hi, I'm William Stillman, psychic medium. I am back in Gettysburg with esteemed historian and author Ronald Kirkwood, and Ron is the author of the book Too Much for Human Endurance, the George Spangler Farm Hospitals and the Battle of Gettysburg. Did I get it right?
You did.
Yes, thank you. And we are being videotaped today by Tim McGowan of Tim McGowan Studio in Myerstown, Pennsylvania. And Ron, as before, I have no prior knowledge of where we are or what to anticipate for today, so I am at your disposal or at your mercy, as the case may be. But I'm not sure where we are, but we'll continue to walk through the field and see what we pick up. And it's never dull, so we'll see.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, thank you.
Those buildings either walking or via car.
I see. So are those buildings inhabited currently? Like, is anyone there?
The Park Service probably uses it in the summer for rangers.
Okay, but there's no one there today, to your knowledge?
I don't know, but if there is, it's still perfectly public land.
We're able to
yes.
be there. Okay, I just don't want to disrupt anyone.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, alrighty. I'm seeing the word skirmish, so I don't know if that resonates in terms of what occurred here. But it feels as though there was a convergence here.
That's a good way to put it.
Thank you. This was sort of the epicenter.
Yes.
Of two sides coming together.
And any skirmishing would have been out here. Not exactly where we are, but not too far from us.
Okay.
But yeah, the convergence is a good way to put it.
Okay, great. Well, let's just walk a little ways here and see what we get. No, I'm taking you. I was also smelling horse manure. Not that we're smelling it now, but I'm picking it up psychically. So I don't know if there were like stables nearby, or there was like a makeshift building set up also.
A lot of horses were out here, if not hundreds, dozens of horses were out here as part of the fight.
All right, so that's the horse manure, but what's the there was like some sort of building that was erected.
Don't know.
Yeah. Well, as you've learned, there are things that I end up saying that may not resonate or make sense in the moment, but that you have gone back and researched and found that there was some credibility to them.
Not everything is something, as you
Not
like to
everything
say.
is something, right?
But yeah, I have done in research on some of the things you've said. I've found a lot.
That's great. You might want to tell folks watching about, we hadn't videotaped it, but it was audio recorded, and we're talking about sending someone down to the stream for leeches, and then you said you met someone who was able to verify that.
They had a leech jar that was used in the Civil War, and I researched leeches, and they used them a lot to bloodlet. And I understand that they're still used in modern medicine in some ways.
Yeah,
So
isn't that
yeah.
something? Being the word general, so I feel as though there was a high-ranking official that was a participant in the skirmish or the convergence, the battle, I'm being told to say. And thank you. So there was an army that was coming from that direction this way. Is that correct?
That's
because
correct.
They're coming from way beyond there.
Yes.
They're marching this direction. I almost feel as though this field is something of a thoroughfare, if that makes any sense to you.
It does.
All right. I feel like there's more of them coming this way than there are over here.
That's true.
They feel a bit like their ranks are a bit depleted. They've suffered losses, I'm being told to say.
So you have one army coming from that direction.
Correct.
You have the other army
Yes.
coming from that direction.
Yes. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. But the army, and again, you know, I have no knowledge of the Civil War. I'm certainly not, you know, anywhere near the understanding that you have as an historian, but I feel as though whoever is coming that way has the greater power, the greater rank in terms of numbers and capability.
Eventually.
Okay, but not for the event that we're talking about?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, because I'm seeing them coming from, I mean, we were talking about the house over here, but I'm seeing it way beyond the house coming this direction.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So this field was sort of the thoroughfare, correct?
Yes.
And you said the battle wasn't actually here, but it was further
It
on.
was here.
In this field?
Yes. Severe fighting. A
I
skirmish
thought
is...
you said it wasn't.
No, you said skirmish.
Yeah.
A skirmish is a light fight before the big fight.
Okay.
Farther out. This wasn't a skirmish. This
Okay,
was...
I may have misspoken then in the terminology I was using.
Okay.
Okay, but so there was a convergence in this field where we are standing.
There was a severe convergence
Okay,
in this field.
that's all I needed to know. Thank you. I'm being told this was one of the bloodiest. What's the word I can use if I can't use skirmish? Can I use battle?
Fight. Battle.
I'm being told this was one of the bloodiest fights up to that time. Up to that time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm seeing blood everywhere I turn. I'm hearing men yelling out orders. What was the word I told you I was seeing this morning?
Ambush.
Ambush. Does that have anything to do with what's happening here, or might that be later on?
No.
No? Okay. Because when I think of ambush, I think of a surprise attack or a sneak attack. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't the case.
Okay. All right. may sound like an odd remark to make, but do you have any knowledge of whether dogs would have been used as messengers?
No, I don't have any knowledge of that.
Okay. Maybe that, I'm wondering if that's something you could investigate.
Mm-hmm. Dogs as messengers.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can see that. That could have happened.
Yeah. I don't want to speculate if there's no historical basis for it, but it's sort of like, like you send a retriever out to go get something.
Sure.
That's what I'm picking up on.
Oh, I believe it.
Well,
We'll look.
yep. I just heard an explosion. Would there have been a cannon out here as well?
Yes.
Okay. And boy, that really kicks up a lot of dirt when that hits the ground, doesn't it? Well, there are cannons right there. Are they part of what had been used here?
Yes.
I swear I didn't see them before.
Those weren't the actual cannons.
They're
that
to
were
represent?
Yes.
Okay. This, I feel as though this is being documented. So I don't know if there was, I don't want to use the word reporter, but someone on the sideline taking notes or making observations. I don't know if there was a photographer. I don't know if there was, I don't know, but I feel as though someone is in the capacity as more of an observer than a participant. Does that make any sense to you?
It makes great sense, and I just got chills again. This was the first chills of probably many today. This one battery here, this one group of guys, and there were lots of groups of guys here. One of them was a really talented artist, and he was a bugler, so he wasn't technically a part of the fight. And he made some drawings.
He was
here.
documenting.
There
Thank
you go.
you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because it feels as though, well, this is someone who's sort of not directly engaged in the battle or the fight, but observing
believe this.
and.
I used one of his drawings in my book.
Oh, you're kidding! Wow. Ron gave me a copy of his book, but I have told him, please don't be offended if I don't read it, so I haven't seen it. But that's fascinating.
That's really impressive.
Well, that sort of thing continues today. I mean, you have people who are documenting the battles that occur as observers. We have news reporters and photographers and so on.
There were also a lot of newspaper reporters here, but they wouldn't have been in this field.
They wouldn't have been directly observing?
They would have been more where the commanding general, George Meade, was.
Okay. Alrighty.
But there were actually a couple of professional caliber artists in this group of guys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. There's someone that also made wooden decoys.
Really?
Yeah. So you might want to look into that.
If you look at the cover of my book and the back of my book, that relates to here. You could at least look at that since we're here now.